All right, so let's dive back into Dialog Group.
Okay.
Remember that deep dive we did a few months back on them?
Yeah, the Malaysian energy giant
Exactly.
seemed like they were doing pretty well.
Yeah, they were killing it, right? Upstream,
Upstream.
midstream, downstream, global player, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they had a really impressive YouTube video,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, they seemed unstoppable at the time.
They were coming off a strong year, expanding a lot, and even doing some sustainability stuff.
Especially their midstream business, those terminals.
Yes, those look like a really solid foundation.
Like a cash machine, right?
Pretty much. Steady income no matter what happened with oil prices.
But then you send in their Q2 FY 2025 report, and things took a turn.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit of a head scratcher.
What happened?
They reported their first loss in 25 years.
Wow, seriously.
Yeah, the stock market definitely noticed.
I bet.
Share prices dropped 19%.
Ouch.
So what happened? Did someone hit the pause button on the Energizer Bunny?
Well, it seems like they may have overreached a little bit.
Yeah.
And there were some external factors that didn't help.
All right.
The report mainly blames two things. Huge impairment charges, totaling RM 134.72 million, and then cost overruns on their engineering and construction projects.
So impairment charges, that means they had to admit some of their investments weren't worth what they thought.
Yeah, basically.
What exactly went wrong?
Well, it seems like their diversification strategy backfired a bit.
Okay.
Remember how they were pushing into specialty chemicals?
Uh-huh.
That malic acid plant in Kuantan? Total flop.
Oh, no.
Global oversupply led to a price crash, so they had to write off RM 90.7 million.
Wow, almost RM 91 million. That's not pocket change.
Nope.
What about the other impairment?
That one hit their joint venture in the recycled plastics market,
Okay.
specifically RPET pellets.
RBT.
Yeah, recycled polyethylene terephthalate, these used to make water bottles and stuff.
I see.
Turns out brands weren't as into recycled content as Dialog predicted. And they ended up with a RM 44 million write-off.
So their big bets on specialty chemicals and recycled plastics didn't really pan out.
Yeah, pretty much.
But were there other warning signs in the report besides those impairments?
Oh, yeah, definitely some red flags.
Like what?
Well, their operating expenses jumped up 9%,
Okay.
but their revenue dropped by almost 21%.
Oof, that's rough.
And their share of profits from joint ventures took a hit, too, partly because of foreign exchange losses.
So a mix of internal missteps and a bad external environment.
Exactly.
So not exactly a recipe for success.
No, not really.
We've got impairments, rising costs, falling revenues. It sounds like a perfect storm.
Yeah, it's not great.
So given all of this, what's the outlook for Dialog Group?
Yeah.
Are they on the verge of collapse?
Well, it's definitely a big setback,
Yeah.
but collapse might be a bit dramatic, I think.
Okay.
Let's not forget, Dialog Group still has some serious strength.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at all.
What strengths might help them pull out of this?
For one, they're still generating cash.
Okay, that's good.
Their report shows RM 409 million in net operating cash flow.
For the first 6 months of the fiscal year.
Right, so their core operations are still bringing in money.
Okay, cash flow is king.
Exactly.
What about their reserves? Do they have enough to cushion this loss?
They're sitting on a pretty comfortable cash pile.
Oh, yeah. How much?
RM 1.39 billion in unrestricted cash, to be exact.
That's a lot of money.
It gives them some breathing room, that's for sure.
$1 billion can buy you some time to figure things out.
You got that right.
All right, so they have cash, but what about debt? Are they over-leveraged?
Not really. Their debt-to-equity ratio is only 0.4.
So 40 cents of debt for every dollar of equity.
Exactly. That's pretty conservative for their industry.
So they have cash, manageable debt, and they're still generating cash flow.
That's the good news.
But their financials are still pretty concerning, right?
Yeah, I mean, that loss is big. The impairments, the declining revenue.
What's their plan? Are they just hoping for the best?
No. Their management team has a plan, a multi-pronged approach.
Okay, tell me more.
They want to get back to basics,
Right.
streamline operations, and make some strategic investments for the future.
So what does getting back to basics look like for them?
Well, it starts with their midstream business, those terminals we talked about.
The ones that are like cash machines.
Exactly. They're reliable, and Dialog plans to invest more in them.
Makes sense. Strengthen their core.
Right. Expand capacity, especially at the Penrang deepwater terminals.
Those are the ones in a strategic location, right?
Yeah, along major shipping routes.
Okay, but what about specialty chemicals and recycled plastics? Throwing in the towel.
In the downstream segment, yeah, they're being more cautious now.
Understandable.
They're prioritizing in-house projects where they have more control.
Less risk.
Exactly.
So pumping the brakes a bit.
Yeah, reassessing.
But are they abandoning growth altogether? What about those investments we mentioned?
Like expanding fabrication facilities and digital transformation.
Yeah.
Those are actually key to their long-term vision.
Interesting.
Expanding fabrication means diversifying revenue streams, going beyond just energy.
So shipbuilding, offshore structures, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Broadening their horizons.
Smart move.
And the digital transformation push, well, that's about the future.
The future of their industry.
And every industry, really.
I guess you're right.
They're investing in data analytics, automation, all that.
To optimize and stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
So they're not giving up.
Not at all.
They're adapting.
And investing.
It's a gutsy move to keep investing in growth during a time like this.
You think so?
Yeah, what do analysts and do they believe Dialog can pull this off?
Well, that's where things get interesting. Opinions are divided.
Divided how?
Some analysts have downgraded Dialog to neutral.
Concerned about the short term.
Yay, they're taking a wait-and-see approach.
I can understand that after a performance like this.
Yeah, it's natural.
What about the other side? Are any analysts still optimistic?
Oh yeah, there are definitely some who are still bullish on Dialog.
Right.
They see this setback as a necessary correction.
A kitchen sinking to clear out the bad news.
Exactly.
And they think earnings will rebound.
That's their prediction.
So we have the cautious pessimists and the optimistic believers.
It's like a jury deliberating.
It sounds like the next few quarters will be crucial for Dialog.
They need to show some progress, win back confidence.
From the analysts and investors.
Definitely.
It's a high-stakes game, for sure.
The pressure is on.
But this is a pivotal moment for them.
Absolutely.
Their decisions now will determine their future.
How they adapt, their resilience, it'll all come into play.
Will they come back stronger?
That's the question.
It's fascinating to see.
It's a reminder that even successful companies face hurdles.
And their actions will speak louder than words.
You got it.
Okay, so we've looked at their financials, the loss, their turnaround plan,
Yeah.
and their efforts in community and sustainability.
Right.
But, something I was curious about from your notes was their international presence.
Oh, right.
They're called a Malaysian energy giant.
Yeah.
But how global are they really?
That's a great question. They do have roots in Malaysia, but they've been expanding their global footprint for a while now.
So where are they making waves internationally?
Well, it's pretty diverse. They're on several continents. They've got projects in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia?
Yep. Big EPCC contracts for oil and gas facilities.
Wow. Saudi Arabia, that's like the heart of the oil industry.
It is.
What other regions?
Australia is another one.
Australia. Okay.
They're working on LNG terminals there.
LNG, that's liquefied natural gas, right?
Yep. Storage and regasification terminals.
Those are important for the global LNG supply chain.
Absolutely. And Dialog's expertise is valuable there.
LNG is a hot commodity these days,
Yeah.
especially with the push for cleaner energy.
In LA.
Any other notable international ventures?
They're also in Tanzania,
Tanzania, interesting.
working on a major port and terminal facility.
To support their energy sector.
Yeah. And boost regional trade.
So they're in key energy hubs around the world.
It seems that way.
Not just expanding, but aligning with global energy trends.
And capitalizing on new opportunities.
But going global has its challenges, right?
For sure. It's not easy.
What hurdles might they face?
Well, different regulations in each country.
Okay.
Cultural differences, geopolitical risks.
Right. And competition from other international players.
Tons of competition.
It's a high-stakes game.
Absolutely.
They need to be adaptable to succeed.
For sure.
But if they do it right, this could be a major growth driver.
Definitely. Diversifying geographically is important.
Less reliance on any single market.
Right. More resilient to downturns or instability.
And new markets mean new opportunities.
Exactly.
It's like planting seeds all over the world, hoping for a good harvest.
I like that analogy.
But I keep coming back to that question.
But their recovery.
Yeah, can Dialog Group really bounce back from this?
Well, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
I think it's a nuanced answer, as most things are. They have a good foundation, strong cash flow, manageable debt.
They've had success in the past.
Their turnaround plan is ambitious, but it's realistic.
They're not just hoping for the best.
No, they're making calculated moves, focusing on their strengths.
Being more cautious where they stumbled.
Exactly.
But there's no guarantee.
Never is in the business world.
Unforeseen challenges, unexpected twists and turns.
Always something.
But it'll be fascinating to watch their journey.
I agree. It's a story of resilience, adaptability.
The constant pursuit of growth in a changing world.
That's business for you.
And for our listeners, it's a reminder that even when things look bad,
There's still potential for a comeback.
learn from mistakes, make adjustments, don't give up.
It's not just about the destination.
But the journey,
The lessons learned, the challenges overcome, the changes made.
all part of the story.
It's what makes it interesting.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Dialog Group.
I hope everyone enjoyed it
We hope you found it insightful.
and that it sparked your curiosity.
To learn more about business and the global energy landscape,
Remember, knowledge is power.
the more informed you are, the better.
You'll be able to navigate this complex world.
So, until next time,
Keep exploring, keep questioning.
and keep diving deep.